Sure. We're now heading to what we call the Mbawula chat. I have the privilege of all right, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege of introducing a legend. Yeah. I want to legend. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman that I'm going to introduce is a multi-award winning, not only artist, but creative, international creative. This is a man who's got a heart for the people. Yeah? So when we reached out to him and said, please, can you come through and share? By that time, registration was already packed. 700 more people wanted to come through. But this shows the love that you have for him and the love that he has for the community. And he's like, T, I'm here. I'm here for you. If I had to read his bio, would be here the entire day. You'll hear more about him. But he's in the building. You know, they say we don't give our legends their flowers while they're still alive. We're going to give him his flowers. As he comes through to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, please can we get up on stage as we introduce the multi-award winning international creative entrepreneur. Not only is he that a musician, but he's a businessman. Mahikeng, let's get up on our feet and introduce the one and only Khuli Chana. Khuli Chana's in the building. Sega, Boyin. Come through the sample. Come on, Mahikeng. Let's put our hands together for the legendary Khuli Chana. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Keep playing, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you can get up and dance. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Yabo. Hi, Yabo. I say, can you feel it? Kulubuile. Ekere oh. When I say Chana, you say power. Chana! Chana! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ellen Javis agadi kwai wo. Nakutile ke go bua hela, so you know, guys, it feels so good to be home. This is such a great platform. Le bantle. That's why ke khabile. Kiliti. Oh, bro, this is so special. You know, I've said on many platforms, you know, it's always been centered around talent shows, or either I'm on stage performing, but to be around brilliant minds and business entrepreneurs, you know, on the come up, this is beautiful. Yeah.
Yo, let's give the legend a round of applause. You know, yeah, wherever comfortable. You know, for me, it's so I'll tell you what happened. So, and you know, I guess this is consequence of the amazing legend or individual who's with us today, right? And the vibrant spirit out in Mahikeng. So when we opened up the link, it filled up in 3 days. And then, you know, Khuli decided, you know, I'm gonna come. You know, because he loves his community, you know. When we opened that up, in literally 3 days, 748 people were on the waiting list. They're still there. We couldn't bring them here because of the limit. We're limited to 300 people in the room. 748 people are sitting somewhere on a waiting list wanting to see this amazing legend. But I think for me, you know, it's a special moment because, I mean, I'm a fan, like millions and millions of us as South Africans. But I think, you know, when I have observed the journey from a distance, you know, it's one that is quintessential, a leader par excellence, a clean brand, but a powerful brand. You know, subtle but yet fierce. You know, going out into various spaces in the marketplace. You know, I mean, I want to be abrupt today. So when you were at the Cannes, and Wyclef says to you, you know, Africa is no longer riding shotgun, how did that feel?
Wyclef. So I don't know if we know the Fugees, Wyclef, Lauryn Hill, and Praz. So what makes that story special, I'm in the south of France. I was doing a brand partnership with Absolute Vodka, and we had created a campaign called Africa's Absolute. Then we went on to create a campaign by Visa One Source, where I created a song, and we created a music video, Go Ghana, where we spent 8 days. Boss. You know, and One Source was about how Africa is the source of creativity, that, you know, it all started here. And that we, you know, so anyway, little did I know, when we won a gold Cannes award, a bronze and a silver, that Wyclef was one of the judges. And little did I know that my icon was saying, "Diman kena sponsoring a win," you know? And then we won. I then run into him the following day, and Abambona, and then he says one of my lines, you know? And then I walk up to him, and then he tells me how much he loved the campaign. And then I'm gonna go give a talk at the Shazam, you know, stage. Zogala Linna. You know, I'm looking at my life, I'm going, yo, I grew up, you know, listening to this guy's music, and now I'm surrounded by greats and other entrepreneurs. I met a lady who was a manager at J. Cole at the time. You know, we go there, we get to that stage, he tells, you know, he shares his life journey, his career, and when he, you know, went on a hiatus, and when he was running for president, go Haiti. And then he does something special, then he starts performing, then he drops. I don't know if you remember a song in the radio or not. Now, Harisimulla, nobody was making beats. So we would buy CD singles. It would come with the song, the radio version, and the instrumental. So I used to write rhymes to that instrumental. This guy starts performing, you know, ready or not, and then he says, "I'm gonna call somebody special on stage to come and join me." And then I get on, I rap a 16 bar, and it was like full circle. When I was about 15, say between 13 and 15, I was writing rhymes to this beat. And today, I'm standing right next to the man in south of France as a Gold Can award winner. You know, so, you know, your dreams are valid. You know, keep going. And if it doesn't make you a little bit uncomfortable, that opportunity wouldn't have happened for now. If I didn't allow myself to operate outside of my comfort zone. You know what I mean? Because I was, suddenly, it had little to do with on stage, you know? I was part of a creative agency, and we were ideating together and coming up with concepts that can change the world, you know? So, yeah.
And round of applause. And you know, in the advertising world, a con is rated, you know, above an Oscar, you know, on the same level as an Oscar or higher. It's an internet. So for me, the reason why I asked that is what stood out for me is your preparedness. How important is it, in your view, we're talking to these amazing young entrepreneurs, for them to always be prepared? Because, you know, if one wasn't prepared and that opportunity presented itself, then one would have said, nope, not now. But there you were, fully basking in the moment because you were prepared. And to me, you know, you come across as you're always prepared because you're that hungry.
Preparation. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of young entrepreneurs, but let me speak, let me focus that in my industry, all right? Where I'll go back to when we were starting out. I came into this industry probably, I would say, 1,000 rap verses ready, all right? So so I took you back to when, you know, nobody was making beats, no one had a studio. So actually, I don't know if you know Tasman. At one point, Tasman was the only one who had a studio, or what? And so you would write these rhymes, you know, for yourself, rap to yourself, you know, and then, you know, I had Towdee, I had KG, I had Mulimi, and, you know, would get together and spit these bars. And that went on maybe for about 5 years or more until we got into a professional studio. So when that happened, you know, when we got to Get Rough, the features, the collabs, whatever, we were always verse ready. As a business, as an entrepreneur, be pitch ready. And then you also have to be intentional. So, you know, how I ended up in those spaces like Libo, Absolute Vodka at Cannes, I used to hang around Ogilvy and Mathers. That's a advertising agency. I had no business being there. I just had a friend, you know, and I'd go visit him, and I'd hang around these guys, and I was just so fascinated by, you know, the creativity and, you know, how they piece, how they connect dots, and that whole advertising world, you know, and that was so early in my career, probably way before we dropped our first album. So by the time I did my first brand partnership, I was prepared, you know, so stay pitch ready and be intentional in where you want to position yourself in this space. Yeah, make sense?
Yeah, a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Round of applause, guys. So for me, you know, entrepreneurship in itself is primarily driven by one's pioneering abilities. There you are, you know, many years ago, you know, growing out of, you know, Unit 2, Tswakstikem, back then. Here you are, this guy deciding, you know what, I'm gonna pioneer. We're not gonna do the same old American style rapping in English, but we're gonna pioneer. You know, we're gonna add Tswana in it, and we're gonna add flavor, and we're gonna call it our own thing. What went into that creative prowess? Because a lot of these entrepreneurs are creating, whether it's detergents or vehicle brands or t-shirt brands and all that stuff. And sometimes we create these things, but doubt sifts in, or we overthink it. And you know, sometimes when you're the first, there's a lot of conflicting voices. So what went into the creative process of creating that, pioneering that, and how have you worked through those voices?
Wow. Motswako, let's take Setswana. You know, we came up at the most challenging time. You couldn't compete Zulu. You know, you couldn't compete with that at that time. So of course, Zulu was dominating. You know, I remember being rejected. I think it was BMG Records at the time, and we're being rejected by a white guy, a white producer who was huge at the time. What language is this? You guys sound like you're mumbling your words here. You guys need to try it in Zulu. Zulu is king, you know? And every Zulu for a day. Stick to your guns. So you have to stick to your guns. And Setswana was not deemed or perceived as cool. And somebody had to make it fashionable. And that was our icon, Double HP. Yeah. And then somebody had to pioneer it. There was Prof. Sobukwe Seremane. You know, you know, that's the guy that introduced me to rap. You know, and there was Stone. You know, it's very interesting, that process of how we had to just make it cool. And then speaking to the voices in your head, is you have to get high on your own supply. You have to be your own Beyonce. You know what I mean? You have to get high on your own hype, you know? And, you know, there's a lot of times I get some high and I go back to a time when, but to never share you know? And now when I think about it, because, you know, everyone, you know, when we finished matric, you know, people had plans. I'm going to Cape Town. I'm going to go study accounting sciences. I'm going to do this. And we wanted to rap. And no one had ever made, you know, no one had a success story, you know, you know, and no one has ever gone to Josie and come back here successful. You know, and so our purpose was bigger than just the music. You know what I mean? It was that we have to change the narrative. You know, so how I battled with those voices, I surrounded myself with like-minded people, Morafe, and then I got high on my own supply, and I was my own Jay-Z. You know, yeah, you have to have sickening self-belief. Yeah.
According to you, I mean, when did the entrepreneurial bug bite, right? I mean, as a creative, you're an entrepreneur in your own right. So just starting the creative journey is being an entrepreneur. But when did that then spillage out into you expressing it through your foundation, your studios, and other avenues, you know, where you decided, I'm going to create more things that are going to replicate the things that sort of resemble me?
So, you know, my entrepreneurship journey it actually started by default. It was inspired by rejection. So after being rejected by all major labels from Sony, EMI at the time, BMG, Zulu is King, you know, and then I had to go independent. You know, that's when I dropped MostswakoOrininator. I did that independently. I had to jump. I didn't really have much of a plan. I'm not a born entrepreneur. It's just something I had to do because I figured, you know what, I need to be heard. I have an amazing product. I'm going to have to start. So just start, you know, and I look back to where we started and how big we've become, right? The Khuli Chana Foundation, the studios, that was inspired by Maftown Heights. Maftown Heights was, after the success of MostswakoOrininator, my first album, I wanted to create something that could be bigger than myself, you know? And I wanted to carry on tradition. I can share Jabulani Zambo. Yeah? Jabulani introduced Morafe, Ratlaka Tuksi, Hotla Kespa. So when you share that family tree, and the golden thread, what he did is he shone a light on everyone. You know, he made his journey bigger than himself. And I wanted to carry on tradition and do the same. And then I spoke to my manager at the time. Hey man, and we were not together, man. You know, Tuksi lives about 6 blocks away from me, but we're not even making music. Jabu Okakwa, Mang Okakwa. And one night I went to an event there. It was a Ghana independence thing. But together, man. I mean, they're far away from home and they're celebrating Ghana. And I'm like, I want to replicate this, and I want to start something called Maftown Heights, where we will, you know, set up a platform, a stage, where we will celebrate Mahikeng, but we will also create collaborations with others and whatnot, you know? So, and that's how Maftown Heights was birthed in 2010. And we are, 10 years deep now? You know, and on that stage, you know, I saw young Casper, Ole Pondo. I think when I charge 1,000, Casper went on to be the most expensive act on our stage. All right. On that stage, we saw young Aries. Look at where Aries is. And there's so many guys that we've unearthed on that. And I think if you want to grow bigger, you have to create something that is bigger than yourself. Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I really picked up, is your very, not even high desire, but your very deliberate and intentional support of young creatives, of young entrepreneurs. I mean, I've seen you using them for stuff, commissioning for them for work. I mean, where does that come from? And why is it important for us to consistently pass on the buck and plug people on?
Wow, man. Because I think we forget how hard it was at one point. I mean, it was hard. Like, I'll forever, put a lot of emphasis on Jabulani and his work. I'll give an example. There was one time, there was a show called Cuss Aloud. I don't know if you remember Cuss Aloud. Yeah. So, and he had just dropped a new album, and we had a collab with him on that, and he was booked to do a live TV show, live performance, and he insisted, performer, so, and they went back and forth, Balwana, because he had to perform the single that was out on radio, and he insisted on performing the song that he had done with us. But that was the very moment that changed everything for us, because the whole nation got to see us for the first time. So I know exactly what that moment does for an entrepreneur or a musician, because that feeling doesn't go away of when you're yearning for someone. Or, hey man, can somebody just look out for me, But I'm also selective about the people that I shine a light on, because I go for the people who are also like-minded, who give me a sense of purpose that I know this guy will pass it on. This guy will what's the word I'm looking for? Will push it forward. I'll give you an example. We did a campaign lunch bar. I don't know if you've seen the ad. Yeah, so that ad tells you a little short story about, the birth of Khuli Chana and the evolution. And then at the end, I passed the baton to the artist that is up next. More scripting say, never can say some extra whoever. I insisted, put Madlera Dope Boy there. And look at where Madlera is right now, right? And with the mentorship mentee thing, for me, is I've learned more from the guys that I mentor. Actually, so, moving with AB's my manager, who came on a couple of years back, volunteering to transition into becoming my manager. I learned more from this guy than I think he learns from me, So that's how I grow, from Babanye. Yeah.
Round of applause. I mean, I think, because it's interesting, I'm sitting here, someone was asking questions, but I'm also sitting here as an audience member. Because one of the things that sort of jump up for me there is, don't be entitled to help and opportunities. People are gonna help you, but you need to move the needle yourself. I mean, when I look at you and I've listened to your music, and I look at your career and I follow your story, I mean, number one, style on style, fashion king, always looking good, every single day, every single moment, every single hour. Or am I wrong? Let's give him a round of applause for style. I want to know, there was facts. I mean, you don't look like you've had any tough times. You don't look like you experienced failures, I mean, okay, obviously because you're a human being, but have you experienced failures, and which ones come to mind, that entrepreneurial or the sort? And when you're in that moment, how do you work around that voice? Not even the voice, but that self-doubt. Do you, at this point as Khuli Chana, because I know I get into spaces and some imposter syndrome, do you still have that sense of imposter syndrome? And how do you nip that in the bud to be able to go in and kill?
Yeah, the image plays a big part. The dressing up, is how I get myself amped for every opportunity. I'll be honest, like, I came here super nervous. This is still way, I think maybe the perception I've created is that I'm the seasoned businessman. I give us tembakwa, I'm transitioning, and I've been in this transition for a while, but I'm getting there, and I fail forward. I've had many failures, ventures, anything you can think of that an entrepreneur goes through, tax, being scammed, sometimes you're way over your head, but I've just never let up. I keep going, so the fashion thing, when you hit 30, ule mo rapper, ubizwa groot man. I don't know, I just never understood why hip-hop really are. When you're a jazz musician, the older you go, the more your value goes up. How big about 28? It starts to get weird. And I remember going, maybe the look has got to change. And you're changing. So I think the image changed when I wanted to feel comfortable as a grootman, and I wanted to embrace it, and it really did something for my confidence, But also just intentionally, one of my biggest dreams is to go into the fashion world. Yeah, so, yeah.
Sure. There's no one I've spoken to leading up to this workshop that said anything apart from the fact that he's a kind-hearted, approachable individual, someone you can engage. Oftentimes, when we're engaging with people that have assimilated any resemblance of success, notoriety, there's a little bit of arrogance that come in, even when it's undue. How have you been able to keep this persona, even in the midst of all the shining lights and all the international noise that is all around you, that has kept you grounded in this manner?
I would say, my biggest blessing is being born Mahikeng. And being born Mahikeng is my biggest blessing. So, and the principles that I got growing up, I've carried them with me everywhere I go. And I have to be honest, when I went through a drought, I had people carry me, and because humility is how you could also navigate and survive the droughts, So, but also having seen people go up and people go down, and also lessons from the pioneers, And I think when I came in, I had the right mentors, Prof. Stone, one of my best mentors, and this guy's changed my life, is Kabelo Mabalani, Yeah, Boga Love. One of my best moments and highlight of my career is next to Wyclef is Kabelo Mabalani. So after I got signed to my management team, when I went solo, he's one of the first guys that sat me down. We were under the same management, and he just gave me game. How to move, how to just stay low and stay consistent and be who you are, So, yeah, man, and it's, I've had people that would try to shade it and go, you're too humble, as if, you don't believe in yourself, and that's never been the, and it would give me a bit of a complex, and so, but now I can confidently say, I'm glad I moved the way I moved. Yeah.
I mean, then the mentorship notes sort of, and I think it was building up to this question. You sort of brought it up twice. Why is mentorship important, and how have you identified the mentors that either to work with or that you've kept around you?
Failure is a great teacher, right? And having a mentor gives you direct sort of insights, and just beyond career moves, right? You can engage on so many levels. I'm a family man now. When I sit with my mentor who's been in business for many years and married and with a family, I can relate, and it's important to have someone to lean on. And it's also important, Luena, as a mentee, to be of service and be valuable. Don't be somebody who's there to take. And your way in can be asking for advice. So you find, in the music business, you find a lot of, hey, man, I'm fag. No, I'm faggy, the approach is when you take that approach of, Joe, I've got this and I need advice, it's easier for me to engage with you, But I attribute my success to mentors, There's some that I still engage with, like Abelo Mabala, until this day, when I've gone through some dark times, and I get back up, yeah.
Round of applause, thank you. What inspires you? And what has kept you going all these years?
I'd say, fear is a big part of it. If you've ever tasted what rock bottom feels like, it tastes like, and I've hit that slump before, and I never, and then, I never want to go back there, Okay, so, one of, I don't, how do I put it, one of the things I've experienced, the dark side of growing Momakai is where Gauteng and how do you tell the flop, and when we were starting out, you go to Joburg, you try it out, my 3 months, now now you're hiding, and then you're back home for like 6 months, And I remember one time, it got so bad in Joburg because I was too ashamed to come home. Olivia, I phoned her, I worked hard, and I came home and I think I was here for about a year. And I had hit rock bottom. It was bad, and in that time, I then discovered just personal development and growth, and that is key. So if you don't work on yourself, you can work on your business. If you don't work on yourself, your business will suffer eventually, yeah.
Sure, I like that. Let's give that a round of applause. Yeah. I mean, how many of you guys are learning some invaluable lessons? And what is the one piece, maybe it might not be one, but what is the one piece of advice that you either got, you read, you picked up somewhere, or your motto that has always just stuck with you? It could be 2 or 3.
Yeah. There's one by Robin Sharma. I don't know if you know Robin Sharma. Something around, inspiration exists, but it needs to find you working. Yeah, you know, so one of the biggest mistakes I've made, right, is when, if you go back to my story, when I started, every day, rapping to yourself, you know what I mean? And that was, in that moment, I was preparing for a big moment. And then you get to the mountaintop, then you stop doing the things that got you up there, right? So you have to stay grinding, grinding, grinding. La go better. Even when you're not flavor of the year. So what happens with success, what else did he say? He said, nothing fails like success do. Because you stop doing the very same thing that got you to the mountaintop. So now I got there and I enjoyed the booking fees, man. The touring, the first class flights. Why one? The 5-star hotels. Once what? The free clothes, the freebies. Or one of the hospitality rider, the groupies, all of that. And then outside, and then it starts to show. And it starts, you know, you project it eventually. So keep harnessing your craft, you know, be as hungry, stay hungry as you were when you get to the mountaintop. Yeah.
Let's give Khuli a round of big round of applause. I don't want to hog this moment. We normally give 5 or 6 people an opportunity. Hey. Not even done. We normally give 5 or 6 people an opportunity to ask questions. Please just keep it at 1. Just 1 question. And it could be a compliment. You know, that's still fine. Okay, cool. Just, I don't even, okay, the gentleman, the lady, the camera flash, the gent at the back, the gent over, okay, oh my goodness. Yeah, just come this side to where this gentleman is. Okay, cool, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've got 6 here. Oh my, we've got the lady here. Okay, let's see how this goes first, and then we'll take it from there. Is that fair? Sure. Oh, you wanna? No. Okay.
Shout out to the village girl, superstar, your water.
Hello.
One, two.
Okay, no, thank you very much. All right, my name is Charles Lungo, aka Charlie. I'm the founder and CEO of the Student Investment. So the problem that I'm solving is to curb the high levels of exploitation that Africa has experienced for decades, to address the lack of purpose, transparency, and the lack of provision to satisfy the basic human needs for people in Africa and the imbalances of wealth, right? So right now, my ask to you is this, right? I feel like your tweet it's worth more than 100 million. So that's my ask to you. If you can please tweet. I have a tweet from you. I would have made it.
I got you.
Thank you.
I got you, brother.
Hello?
A tweet coming right up.
Hello? Lina ke Gouta. The question that I have is, in terms of like starting your record label and managing people, what kind of education did you need, or where did you find the necessary skills to run such a company?
Oh yeah. So there's a site platform called Smartest You. The Urgant is created by Amy Lee, but Smartest You. Ne? So think artist S Smartest University. Check it out. What you get on that platform is you can either would say course artist management, This is from somebody who ran Def Jam for many years, seasoned artist manager. And then you can either join the artist manager club. Daukra, the manager at Zabobo, Kid Cudi, like big acts, Justin Bieber, whatnot. You know what I mean? And you can be just a part of that community. So that's one. Two, I know that Boston also has a music business course. Check that out. And I applaud you for wanting to study. But whereby I wing it. You know, there's this sense of like, anyone can hop on this music thing and do it. There's a science to it, and you have to study it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khauta.
Dumelang. Ke nna Mpho ke mo incubation go MD I hub under Commissioner Ndaba. Ke batla go go lebogela hela gore thank you for coming home. Thank you so much. Doctor, since the last time I met you, I was still in a idea concept, but right now I was able to build my prototype. Yes, BBM Stack, we are doing manufacturing digital tables from grade 7 to grade 12. We are saying less of taking notes and more of participation in class. Remember, there are learners who are able to remember things when they see them than when they hear them. So, because, so this is for your kids and Galewog.
And shout out to the entrepreneurs, making sure that while asking a question, I punt my business.
Plug.
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 My lady.
Dumelang le kae? Ke a lebitso ke Tshiamo Motlhale. I'm from Tia Afro Hair Studios. And at the same time, I'm a rapper. So I'm very much inspired by you, Papa. I would like to know for a feature, if I want a feature.
What's the guy?
So yes, I just wanted to put that out there, and I would like to thank you for your words of wisdom. And I've stepped out of my comfort zone.
Jump,
Hi.
Jump,
Yeah.
just jump, just start. Yeah.
Thank you. Tia_Afro.
I'm
Tell
watching.
us.
Sharp one.
Good day, everyone. My name is Leboga Mosenori from Ramatlabama. My brother, I just want you to clear only two things for me. I want to get prepared. First time, how did you feel? I mean, like, Rehola, Rabona, Mukasi, Lebomulimi, Kobo Unit 5, Koboskalo, Lejadi Kota, Letzaini, going back to Joburg, disappointed, like you're saying, coming back. All of a sudden, you wake up and here's this call. We are willing to work with you. Suddenly, the life change. You no longer go high kwa papa ka ditapolo a petse ke mama. Now you have a choice of anything batlang. Suddenly, a lot of money is here. Everything is happening. How do you handle that pressure?
No, just one quick.
It's something shock. Yeah, Papa.
And another thing that I wanted to know from you, politely asking, as one of the developing entrepreneurs, we batla funding, we don't get respond in time. Whereby we expected the PG, we did not get emails, as I was expecting to get emails for one of the team members. So if you like capability undermine, okay, it's fine. So when I find out all one, what can you give back to Mahikeng, to the small entrepreneurs? Maybe a little bit of funding or competition. Is it something that you've been planning, or are you willing to do for us in order to help us in terms of small and funding, not too much? Thank you.
Nah, I think on this, even if you wanted to give funding, I'd put in a challenge. A challenge that says, do exactly what he spoke about. Put in the work. You know, put in the work. Because there's a lady who stood up here and was talking about how this amazing lady pitched in Tlhabane. She didn't win, but she's here today as a speaker on the platform. That's what for me is what Khuli is about. That's what his brand is about. It's about being able to be rightly positioned all the time, and the money's gonna come. You know?
Okay. Sharp. I'll wrap it around my head. Yeah. Iriki Dibale will come up with something. Sharp and sharp.
Thank you very much. Lina Muso. I have only one question in terms of how do you define success? How do you define success? That's my only question. Thank you.
Yo, that's a hard one. That answer has changed many times. But I came across something and it spoke to me, Eri. You are defined by your limits, you know? And that said to me at that moment, oh, I think I'm still thinking small, you know? I need to think bigger. But success right now, for me, is this little family I have, is going back to a time when you just got off stage. How can I joke? How or you sleeping on somebody's couch, just having a home and a roof over my head and this peace I have and having, just having a family and having the opportunity to wake up and breathe another breath and try again. That's that success that I'd say I appreciate right now. Yeah.
Dumela. Kulani Murule.
Papito.
I've been in the industry that you are in, but then I decided to run away from the limelight. Yeah, I do not want to say
more limelighting, no, right?
No, I'm not. Yeah, what I wanted to say to you, Kihore, you must acknowledge the support that you have, management, your wife, and then there's only one thing also that I wanted to say to you that you must be very careful of. Please, no matter how, drained you may be, please never try drugs. That's my message to you.
Hallelujah. Give a boy, bro. I think Joe nage save you like plus happy, and I'm grateful for that, and I don't take that for granted. Ne bro, ke go tlile.
Madume bagaetsho Lina ke Manuele Manango, original from Zim. So
welcome, my brother. Bulawayo or Harare?
Yeah, from Harare.
Hala.
Yeah. We are running a construction company with my wife, which is called Get Us Homes. You need to build a house, you don't have cash. Talk to us. We'll hook you up. My question to you is, I'm also an artist, but I'm struggling with management and marketing. So please, if you can advise on that area, because I don't want to sign with any label. I want to be solo on that. I sponsor my stuff and do everything. So I just want to know on that. Please, man.
Yeah. The internet, Google is your friend, but so a bit of research. I remember when I was looking for management, I got solo, and I found a place in Douglasdale. I afford it. I just had, Chalete deposit. So it had everything. So it had a clubhouse, it's got like a restaurant, it's got a pizzeria, laundromat, okay, if I find in Dawe shop, because I can koloi, then they'll come and meet me here. So intentionally, you know, put myself in a position where no dimani, you know, and that's where I started then getting managers to come and pitch. Then I casted a net, you know, okay, I'm looking for this guy, Steve. There was a guy by Steve Ovo at the time. He did events. There was a guy who worked for Hennessy at the time, a couple of guys, and I remember them coming to pitch their ideas to me at the time. So that's one way you can do it. You know, there's research and find who's killing it in the management game right now, and find the best one out there. You know, but find one who gets you. You know, and who has the same hunger, or who has believe in you. Yeah.
Whoa.
And I got evicted from that place 3-4 months after that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the second group. So all we'll do now, because all we have with Khuli left is then 15 minutes, that's it. So 2 more, okay, the lady here and the lady, just 2 guys, there's already 2 guys, just the lady here and the lady here. Maybe let's give the lady the mic first. And then we close it. Yeah. Ladies first.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming back home. I've jotted a lot of messages here, what you are saying. I just want to encourage youth here, saying, please go and implement what we are learning here. Take it serious. I'm doing construction, but I'm having a school for welding. So if you want a skill, maybe you're not in space for singing, but you can have your own skill as individuals. So, and you produce, you see this aluminum and all the door frames and also etc. Mark, I'm very happy to your coming here. Really
Thank you so much, Mama.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, Mama.
Hello, Dumelang. All right, so my name is Ndogozo Msiza. So my question to you is that if you were to go back and look at yourself as an 18 or a 19-year-old young South African man, what would you, or rather what advice would you give to yourself, especially in a situation whereby you are caught in between going to school, being a rapper, and starting a business? Thank you.
What advice would I give to my younger self? Is to choose what makes you come alive, you know, and go with what you're passionate about, you know. And the thing you're passionate, I know it's a word that gets thrown around often, but what passion is when I'm not number 1 on the charts or in the top 10 or top 5, is I still enjoy what I do, you know, and that's what passion is. You have to go do something that brings you joy, you know, and you have to choose the suffering it's gonna be torturous, but it's the suffering. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, hi Chana.
Hey.
Ke Fifi wa Fifi's mobile nail studio ne. Ke tsa manala, I'm also doing the house calls. My question to you is, good lo bua ka di failure le rejection. Now, how do you make sure your emotional well-being it's protected? What mechanism can we use as entrepreneurs to make sure our emotional well-being is sharp? Because as entrepreneurs, how to cope with rejection and stuff, you end up your emotions this sharp. So, give us an advice on how do you make sure your emotional well-being is protected.
You know, so I'm back in the gym now. Like, so biki every day. And what I got from that, and I remember, so before a rap career, before I even started writing, I was a gymnast, go maban. What fitness does for your mental health, it does amazing things for your mental health. So I think outside of your career and your passion, you have to do things that keep you buzzing, that keep you healthy, psychologically, I'd say mentally, physically, you know what I mean? And I would start there. I hope it answers, your question. So what I've seen is when you're an artist, right? When you're a creative, a lot of us would lean on the substance, be it alcohol, be it, So, but being in the gym, working out, reading, and just sharpening that saw, it pumps you up. You stay amped for the next opportunity. You get bigger. When you get rejected, don't get bitter, just get bigger. Get bigger.
Hola, Bula Kulani.
Sharp, Baba.
Sharp. Nakin Natsepiso Romeo Sambo. And I am a presidentially certified multiple award winning entrepreneur, an African future leader, and I'm also a best diplomat for the country and the continent as well. And I sit as the chairman to a group of companies called the Infinite Opulent Solutions Group. And man, I'm a young guy with energy. And my question to you is, how was the transition to becoming a leader from becoming a boss? And if you were to go back in time and tell your 28-year-old self, to give your 28-year-old self advice, how would you do it differently to get to where you are quicker?
Thank you.
I honestly wouldn't do it any different. Even when you asked me the question about, how I would advise my 18-year-old self, I'll tell you the truth, Autiak. If you told the 18-year-old me, I'd be sitting here quiet, Chelsea boot, with a white shirt, equal to style, style God pieces, sitting in front of entrepreneurs and brilliant minds and sharing my journey, I'd say impossible. And so just throwing myself in there and being led by purpose and being led by my self-belief and being led by the Most High Mudimu and having this unwavering faith is the reason why I'm here today. And having support ya mama who supported me, with something sana sas tlhalohanya. My mom would let me do it till late, provided I was writing. Hey, o kwala dipina tsa ka, na ke tlhaloganya gore ba go she didn't understand what rap is, and she'd pop in, and she would just, either find me things that are aligned with, what I do. It was a joy. Why don't you go learn how to play piano, whatever. But so that had the strongest support system go high, so. Hey, bro, I wouldn't change a thing because all the failures led me to this moment as well. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Dumelang. Khot manak.
Thank you, mother.
Yeah, ish. Man, khot la dilo tse dintsi ka mohlelelong ya kwa ntlhaloganya. Go hlaka. Khot man. Nna ke tlo go fa task khot man. Task ke tlo go fanya ne re bantsi go gae ra kwala some of us re na le studio nyana ka mo di school bag nyana, but you don't get anywhere. Go pa go fa task each and every year, choose a 10 fela mo go ba le ba batla go ipona le bone ba tsona le bo Casper ba le mo di TV and the music video. Help us hot man re baya nyana ne choose a 10 fela mo jageng sa bofelo se ke batla go se etse no yana ja it bus fela ke nne mo fatshe mang le manga itumela.
What I buzz your sip. There's Mabana created something called the Ultimate Search, Talent Search. That was last year, ne? Last year, Yabuwa happened this year. And I think our winner, I think Utsodi Bate, ne? Yeah, Utsodi Bate. Second winner, that's what Lex Dopo. So the opportunity thing, Matak. the thing. Marlena, I'll do my part. So I sat as a judge on, panel, and then I'm seeing more, an opportunity for me to just do more with the artists of Makai. Marana, all I need from Lona is just be more organized. Iputeng. You know what I mean? Just create your own platforms. Alina something says move on. We're also able to tell something. You know what I mean? Yeah. I am a bit.
Hey, people who say that kill me, eh? Hey, because you don't walk into any retail store and say, loaf of brown bread. Let's give Khuli a big round of applause, man. That was just amazing, inspirational, impactful, and a lot of nuggets. One last question from me, then we are done, What do you want to be remembered as?
I don't know if I have an answer for that, but I would say as somebody who never let up, as somebody who started small and grew big, as an originator, as a pioneer, as somebody who was purpose-driven, as somebody who wanted to do something bigger than himself, but as somebody who's just a human being like me and you, who come from difficult circumstances, but was not defined by those circumstances. Yeah.
Let's give Khuli a round of applause. And that right there, what an inspirational segment, eh? How was that for you guys? Sure. I mean, just two people who will share what they've learned. Is there anyone who wants to share? Okay, the lady. Can we give her a mic? Just wherever you are. Or if you want to come to the front, cool. Yeah, cool. No, there's a mic right there.
Okay, hello again. Like I've said. What I've learned, there's another gentleman that said, your target market, if they can't afford you, they're not your target market. But what I took from you is you can start wherever, like 10 rand something, So it doesn't matter whether it's big or small. Any amount is fine. So start small and never forget where you come from.
Thank you, my lady. The lady here in the black, right here in the black, smooth.
Hi.
Yeah, it's on. No, it's on, yeah.
I am Towdee Mac, and what I've learned from this segment is that you should just start. Don't even think about what might go wrong, what do you need, what don't you need. If you have that feeling of I need to start this, do it. It's gonna work out.
Perfect. Then the last lady over here, that's it. So the last lady over here, and then we close off the Mbawula chat. Thank you so much. What you learned, because this was such an impactful segment.
Wow, dude.
Sure.
I'm partially blind due to brain tumor, but what I learned today is never ever give up. No matter what circumstances you come through or you pass through, you must just fight to get it right, to get to the end of it. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, ma'am. Thank you, and for not letting your limits define you. And yeah,
and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our Mbawula chat with the one and only.
Let's go.
Khuli Chana.
Thank you.
But we just need to take a picture. Right here in the center. You'll take a picture solo. Gift.
Mula, 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 fede fede my jimbos, you go woohoo, inge, woohoo, inge, fede fede my jimbos, woohoo, inge, give me some more volume, inge, let's go. Hello, hey, hey, nah. One more time, hey, hello, inge, hey, nah. Hey, giddy up and giddy down, you feeling giddy? Kisidi la, miliwa, kalilimi. Kuliano, kasibili, biliato, lizzy didi, miliano, takiriri. Kuliano's a dope, say it ain't so. Oh, bonamang, chomiyao, mo. Bullela your mommy that we just bang, for a long time coming, sajigale, to, oh, bonamang, chomiyao, mo. Uha! Left side go, haku, hemula, hey, haku, hemula, mula, let's go, hello.
Thank you for coming out. My name is Khuli Chana, MostswakoOrininator. And before, just close the music, and before you even leave, you know, they say legends never get their flowers while they're living. Ooh. These are, you know, these are our flowers to you, because you're not just an artist or creator and entrepreneur, but the movements you've created have created jobs. Guys, attention, please. The movements that you've created have created jobs. There's someone out there who was able to go to a Maftown Heights and feed their kids because they were selling makwenya or the hot dog or burgers. There's someone there who was connecting and rigging the sound who says now was able to employ one more person. It's not just an artist, it's being able to impact people. So to me, to our team, I knew about Maftown before I knew about Northwest. So that then goes to, you know, the entrepreneurial capabilities, pioneering capabilities, but never undermine the amazing power that you are and your name. And thank you so much for everything you've done for your community. A legend in his lifetime. Let's give it up for Mr. Khuli Chana. And then there's a little fafa from our local entrepreneur. Nice perfume. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's give it up for Mr. Khuli Chana, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys. Born every day as a business, as an entrepreneur, as a musician, but I show up anyway. So act despite thinking and feeling. You know, just show up and get what's yours. Thank you. Love you. Peace out.
Thank you so much, Khuli Chana. Khuli Pa, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, as he makes his way. Let's show love to the legend, Khuli Chana. Love right here in Mahikeng. Hashtag join us for tea. Hashtag together. Beke le beke.